name's Ben Sensony. I've been working at 2 James for about 8 years. Dave, he was a level 2 sommelier, and then he was a bar manager in Ann Arbor at a restaurant called Cafe Felix. He ends up taking a trip out to the West Coast. He actually started up in Seattle, and then he drove down the coastline, and he just notices all these little small distilleries popping up all across the state. And he's like, you know what? Instead of selling somebody else's booze, why don't I just make my own? And that was like the first iteration of 2 James. Originally, he was going to open up in Santa Barbara, and as he's getting ready to sign the deal, he actually got a call from a friend. Like, hey man, like I know you're about to open your distillery up in California. He's like, but I got the perfect spot for you, and it's right in the old stomping grounds. You know, he grew up coming to Corktown, going to the old Tiger Stadium, all that stuff. So he's like, before you sign anything, you know, put pen to paper, just come check it out. When he actually did decide to move to Detroit, it would be, oh, Detroit's a dying city. No business will ever thrive there. Why would you want to go there? And he's like, look, man, like it's in front of the train station. Like if the city's on a rebirth, the train station's the soul. And so he wanted to be a part of that. And that's what actually inspired the move back to Detroit. And it was kind of cool because since then, Ford purchased the train station. When Dave first decided he wanted to open a distillery, he actually reached out to Dave Pickerel, and they traveled around the country to learn the distillation process. So he actually worked with them at Mount Vernon Distillery, which is George Washington's distillery. They did some stuff out there, and then Pickerel came out here, helped us design this whole place. Majority of our grain from Michigan. We try to get as much as we can. There's certain things you just can't get in Michigan. But we get all of our rye, which we won Best Rye Distillery in the United States with. We get it all from out in Ann Arbor. We have a barrel house out there. It's called Wing Farms in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Over 1,000 barrels at least right now. And it's just continuing to get packed. Eventually, I imagine we'll have to look into adding to the rick house even more. But yeah, we're over 1,000 at least right now. And all of our rye in particular is at least 5-year age. So we don't want to pull any of that until it's absolutely ready for tasting.
My name is Joe Lorden. I am the head distiller here at 2 James. 2 James was the first legal distillery in the city since Prohibition. We've always had a small team of people making this stuff, and we put a lot of care and time into not only the production, but just quality control in general, making sure everything is, all the products are consistent before they head out the door and of the highest quality. It started out with vodka and gin, as well as Grass Widow bourbon. We then kind of expanded to a white whiskey. That's our rye dog. It's our 100% rye, which eventually turns into Catcher's Rye. The Catcher's Rye at this point we're releasing is minimum 5 years. But during that 5 years, we also expanded our product line by offering Mezcal, which was imported from Mexico, as well as Absinthe, which we released in 2015. J-Roll Repeated Bourbon, which was released in, I think, 2018. We also developed Johnny Smoking Gun, which is a blended whiskey. We were able to use aged corn whiskey and our rye dog, or our unaged rye whiskey, blended those, and we proof it down with a smoky black tea called Russian Caravan tea. Our rum, which is one of our most recent and definitely our most popular spirit nationwide. My favorite is Catcher's Rye. My favorite season is fall, and my favorite spirit is whiskey. The flavor profile of Catcher's Rye is just perfect for a nice October Michigan evening outside around a fire. It hits the spot. I drink it all year round. I love the people here. I love the products. I love the everything that the company stands for, to be able to show up and actually look and see, like, this is what I've done, and it's developing and getting better and better every day. It offers an opportunity to kind of like reflect and be proud of it, because you can still see it and you can see it getting better right in front of your eyes.
We're going to keep expanding our unique spirits. A lot of stuff that will be distributed, but a lot of stuff it'll just be like, hey, you have to come into one of our locations. We do have a tasting room in Grand Rapids right now. So once that's really moving along, we'll probably look into some other tasting rooms across the state, and then we open the restaurant across the street. That's called Super Guile. It's owned by Dave Landrum, same owner of Two James. And so that's kind of been our focus, as well as we want to try to just have a stable growth. It's a lot of hard work, but I also think like when we actually get to step back and look at what we're doing, we're like, man, that's pretty cool. Like, you're working at like Willy Wonka with booze, and when you just keep it in that context, it's an easy job.